What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Lime Stream, everybody's favorite sour hour with your host, Scott Lalim. It's spelled Lalime. You know what we do here. We get sour, we get sticky, we get juicy just about every Thursday. This week I'm sitting down with Tucson's own We Greater Than I. He's been my boy for a while, going on 4 or 5 years now, ever since I myself started as a promoter. Just waiting on him to join up, and after that we're going to go live with him and get down to the nitty gritty, to the juice that we're all been waiting to taste, you know what I mean? He has now sent me the request. We are going live. Hold on, I think we're joining. Hey, there we go, Thomas.
I'm putting some headphones in so I don't get any feedback. What's up? Good to see you.
Good to see you, bud. How's it been?
Been doing well. I just got back from a day camping trip out in Cochise Stronghold. It was dusty, that's for sure.
Nice. Well, dude, welcome to the Lime Stream, everybody's favorite sour hour, with your host, Scott Lalim, spelt Lalime. What we do here, Thomas, we talk music knowledge, and then we talk nonsense with our friends in the comments. Just about every 3 questions. And how I like to start it all off is just getting a simple background knowledge on yourself and how this started for you.
Well, I'm Thomas, We Greater Than I. Also, Grapefruit Steve, Insta, check that one out. Been doing it about 4 or 5 years, and I just got started because I went to a Dazed and Confused rave, and well, it just kind of started kicking off from then, and then I was like, well, I can do this. So me and my bud Hunter and Lance at Lance Fairchild Official we got together, put our brains together, put our noggins together, and started doing it. Started DJing, I don't know, about a year or 2 afterwards, because I was like, well, they can do it, I can do it. So, because, everyone in their grandma's a DJ. So, yeah. And then I've just been tooting, rooting, and just keep on chugging since.
Yeah. And did you play any other instruments growing up as a kid, or what's up?
I played clarinet for 5th to 7th grade, and then I switched to trombone from 7th to, I finished up high school through that. Okay. So, yeah, it was fun.
Nice. And before electronic music, man, what was, your main genre to listen to?
I listened to a bunch of, System of a Down and Disturbed and stuff, kind of more metal.
Yeah, a little metalhead, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And just before we dive into our first Lime time here, Thomas, I want to know is just give us a little broader elaboration on Project Atlas. How did that really start, and how long did you guys throw parties for, or us?
Yeah. So Project Atlas was the second phase of something. Me and my bud Joseph Chamberlain is in the chat there. Him and Hunter and I, we put our noggins together and tried to figure out well, if you're going to throw a party in a warehouse, you need to find a warehouse. So we ended up going to another Dazed and Confused thing, and it was a Bernie Sanders fundraiser, and so I went there at 2 Chains, yeah. So we went there, figured out that guy's, what the contact was, paid a bunch of money, threw a show that didn't work, kept throwing shows that really small, 20 people. And then, we kind of pivoted, and so it was just Hunter and I, and then at Lance Fairchild right there in the chat. Yeah. We started taking that to a little bit of a new level with our previous experiences, and now we, it takes a little bit of money to throw parties, so we started to get ourselves in a position where we could throw the money at it, and then kind of it kept. You got to keep throwing paint at the wall, and eventually get a masterpiece. So exactly. That's how how we got here.
And what just a quick shout out. What places were you guys starting to play in? Hence, the Galactic Center. Yeah, and Solar Culture, right? You guys are starting to play in Galactic Center and Solar Culture.
Yeah, so it was this art studio was the first place we tried to throw something, and then Joseph or 2 Chains said there, it was right off of 4th Avenue, kind of near Miller's Surplus, downtown Tucson, and didn't go so well, but The first like Project Atlas show was at Pomoro, which was like it was really just someone's house that they rented out the living room, and then they let people throw shows there. And you had like 30 people. I actually was going through my phone memories, and I found some pictures of that first like event. I was like, wow, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
And we met Steven, the guy who runs Solar, just by going to the shows and staying afterwards and cleaning up trash. And then he was like, oh, these kids. And so we kind of worked our way in there, and then we started, with Galactic as well. Hunter was like hanging out with Cactus and stuff. So that kind of allowed us to get into there. So just a lot of like going and being kids and being like, hey,
and just
I like what you got here. Yeah, just showing up, staying to the end, cleaning. That's
exactly.
They see you're the real one.
Exactly. That's something that I can't stress enough. That's something that I did for you guys. Like, you know what I mean? You did it that way, and that's how I started in Project Atlas. I was the one staying to the end and helping clean up. You know what I mean? And now look at that. So it's like a sweet little cycle. You know what I mean? It's very funny. But dude, thank you for the short little background there. We're gonna dive more into it as we go on. But we're gonna start with our first lime time. Your first lime time. We used to rip shots on this until I started destroying my body with tequila. I'm not doing that anymore. But what we still like to do is promote drinking water, stay hydrated, and we like to answer the questions from the comments. So all the friends in the comments, slap the questions in the box. In the question
send
box.
Send me some.
Lance wants to know, who is Grapefruit Steve?
Grapefruit Steve is, he's a legend, an icon truly, and people have not seen his power yet. But Grapefruit Steve is just another alias I have. Sometimes you got to think of a funny name, and Grapefruit Steve, it's my Twitch handle. Everyone loves it. I'm thinking about actually rebranding just because, I'm not even Steve. That's kind of why it's such a great name,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not even Steve. I just created that, he says.
Yeah.
Thomas, I don't see any more questions in the box right now, but let's talk a little bit about the creations of endless clips that didn't get used for Project Atlas and just promo material in general. Let's get a little history on that.
Well, you just
hit it on the park, but let's talk about it, man. What was your favorite memory making promo vids?
I've got to say, one of the earlier Project Atlas ones, right when we were like raw, we're just like, we got to make some marketing material. And so it's like, all right, one of us holds the camera and points at the other person's like, do something funny, man. Mm-hmm. So I got into my recycling bin. And so the camera's just on the recycling bin, and I just like bust out and I just say, hey, come to our event. It's going to be sick. Something like that. And then I just go back in the trash, and then that's the whole advert.
Go back into the trash. Yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to that dude who just popped out of the fucking trash can.
I think it was a good one. There was one I crawled out of a drying. It was like a Hunter's washing machine. We're all hanging out, and I crawled in the washing machine, and Lance turned on the camera and was like, he's doing dumb shit, let's record it. And that was a good advertisement too.
Always the best time to record stuff is when people are doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
James wants to know, what's your favorite state, geographical or mental?
Well, I'm consistently in anguish as a mental state, but I would say I really like Arizona just because it's got so many places to go, so many different mountain ranges. Like I went east and there was a mountain range, and there's like 6 around there, and you go north and there's more, and it's just slightly different environments each time. But I like the desert with the spiny plants and the plants that have drugs in them and whatnot. They tell you not to mess with them.
They tell you not to mess with them, but you like to mess with them, huh?
Hey,
he's like, I'm not saying that.
I'm just vibing, dude. I was just vibing.
Yeah, you're a bit of a nature nerd, huh? You like to go on hikes and everything.
Yeah, it's nice.
You take pictures of the beautiful hikes you go on. I get so jealous.
Yeah, if I don't take a picture, how does someone know I did something cool? So,
I mean, I feel like that's how everybody thinks these days, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of like a half joke, but I did take a bunch of photos because it was pretty cool. So
yeah, I mean, you gotta have it for memories. And but that is how people think these days. I mean, social media is crippling the youth. So, but let's get back into some questions that I have for you myself. Thomas, let's talk about your pre-game party. Like, how do you get ready for the party? What are you doing with your USBs? What's your crate digging look like? What are you doing before the party in your set? What's your pre-game?
All right, so about 2 weeks in, I'm just going to start really overthinking it. Like, what are other people doing? What do I like to do? And how is this going to work with and then I start looking at people before me or afterwards. Just a lot of just overthinking going on my part. But then for crate digging, it's a combination. I'll listen, like Spotify. I've been using Spotify forever, and so its algorithms really kind of got me. If it doesn't, it points me in the right direction. And then from there, you can like, oh, I like this song. And you just go through like their top songs. You always go to the third song. First two are bogus. You go to the third top song and check that out. See if you vibe. And then you go through them. And you can go through the related people on the side. Yeah. Also, SoundCloud. You find a good label that you like and then just see if they make a podcast. And so they'll be putting out a lot of music like theirs or that's, from their label. And then you can start branching off in that direction.
Exactly. Yeah, I start radio stations on SoundCloud. Like, I hit start radio, and then it gives you like a list of songs that are just related to that track. It's actually pretty tight. Other than that, man, what are your what are your favorite labels right now, and what are some of your bigger influences throughout your career, or your career?
Well, it all started off with Deadmau5. I started listening to that beeps and bops shit, like Ghosts and stuff, and I was like, this smacks. And so I just kept going through, and Neuro, dubstep. I really got into a lot of dubstep as well as Deadmau5. Carried on through a little bit of dubstep. Somehow switched over to house. Did that for a while, but now I'm kind of interested in breaks, garage, drum and bass, stuff like that. A little faster with the broken beats, and Hospital Records. Oh, okay. Go on.
No, that was exactly what I was about to ask you. My bad.
Yeah, I listen to Hospital Records and Critical Music for their like UK drum and bass labels. They got that weird wompy. It's not too hype. It's just I don't know, man. I'd say give it a shot. Spotify, do what you want with that. Critical Music, Hospital Records.
Critical Music. And you said that you started at one point of the spectrum of genres in the electronic field, and now you're over in a completely different side of it. I've actually talked to a bunch of people who have done this exact same thing, including myself. What do you think really made you switch up and to the next genre, out to the next one, and then why do you think you ended up in that kind of realm where you're at today?
I switched over to house and techno because I went to some really good raves and kind of just melded with the music, as I would say.
Yeah.
And so then I got really into that with the house and techno. I like the hardness, but I listened to it for a while, and I'm gonna be real. I'm like, wow, it all just kind of sounds the same if you just stop paying attention. And so over the right March, right when quarantine was happening, I was listening to a Golf Clap Twitch stream, and they played a drum and bass song. I was like, yo, this fucking smacks. I gotta listen to more of this. And it's kind of been going from uphill up there since then.
Yeah. And have you been producing your own music at all lately?
Lately, no. I've mainly just been putting into practicing DJing, getting my chops better. Because go ahead. Yeah.
Are you going to be playing drum and bass sets when things fully come back? Is that what you're saying? Are you making the transition on out of house?
Well, that's why every artist has multiple aliases generally, so you can play different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got We Greater Than I, which will probably be more of maybe the drum and bass stuff, and then Grapefruit Steve will be the tech house.
Grapefruit Steve. I knew you were going to bring it up, man. I knew you were going to say it. So that's going to be your alias, that's for sure.
Grapefruit Steve. Just Grapefruit Steve just really sounds like 4 o'clock, like 4 p.m. tech, like, you know, tech house.
I want to
your shirt's unbuttoned.
I want to one day look up Grapefruit Steve on Google and just see you just shirt unbuttoned, having a great time, sweating bullets, headphones around your eyeballs, like.
Just kind of gone into like a Cyclops from X-Men.
Cyclops vibes, for sure. All right, man. Well, that ends that little segment I had right there. Let's slip into another live time. Let's answer some questions from the friends in the comments. I already see one in the box right now. Oh, actually two. Lance wants to know, what's your favorite kind of rock? He knows you're a Geo dude.
Crack rock is my favorite.
Crack rock is his favorite rock.
Yeah, to just break off a little. You know, if you find it in a truck stop, it's even better.
That blue crystal, dude. That blue crystal.
The Breaking Bad shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You watch Breaking Bad?
Oh, dude, that Breaking Bad, yeah, and Better Call Saul. Yeah, that's a good show, too.
I didn't get into Better Call Saul like I got into Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad is hands down one of the best TV shows to hit television. I
would definitely say.
Two Chams wants to know, what is the local electronic music scene going to look like after everyone gets vaccinated?
That would say that everyone would get vaccinated. I would say like the same, but with like maybe more Band-Aids on your arm, and maybe if some of us get superpowers or microchips from the vaccines. I don't think there will be, but you know, on the off chance we do become cyborg men, we can party in even harder fashion because we don't get tired as fast.
Yeah, we won't. We'll just be up forever. Yeah. Because we're fucking superheroes. Hey, that'd be tight, low key. I think it's gonna be like, I don't think it's going to go back to total normal for a while. I'd give it a couple, like another whole year before they actually say, all right, you guys can come together, you know what I mean? After the vaccine, everyone, like the majority of the population is vaccinated. And even at that point, I don't think the majority of the population is going to get vaccinated. So, yeah. Well, I think it's just a waiting game. You got to wait and see.
Yeah, I would. People are not easy to change, like their habits. And so there's, you know, you'll get to see a lot of people having to adapt as well. Like, I'll be wearing a mask just because I realize, like, it's probably good if I don't inhale everyone else's, like, breath all the time. Because, like, think about it. After every big show and you're going hard in the paint, you wake up, like, you know, you've got a sore throat, you're sick after you leave. Like, it's like clockwork. It's like maybe it's because I'm so close to everyone. You know, it might be good to, like, wear a mask. So not get sick as much. It sucks. I've got a sinus infection that's lasted 4 years. That's kind of a joke.
It's kind of a joke.
It's been annoying.
A 4-year-long sinus infection would be ridiculous, honestly. I don't see any more questions in the box. I'm gonna leave it open for like another, like, let's say minute. See if anybody saw. Oh, another one just popped in. Two James wants to know, what do you think about bouncers checking vaccine proof at the door? Ooh, that's a good one.
I think that could be plausible if you've got like a little like card that's like, yo, I got my 2 shots, I'm good. Maybe they give you like I guess the question is like
if you're getting chipped, like, what are they gonna scan your arm and be like, hey, he's got it, let's go.
Dude, that would be easier. Like, no ID check as well. They just scan your chip in your arm. Like, dude, you don't gotta search me. You just chip me. It's fine.
Dude, I would never get chipped. All right, like, I'm sorry. That just sounds crazy.
I mean, it's a line. It's like, all right, but at what point does it start being more useful to be chipped than not be chipped? And what are you giving up? Like,
I guess
they got us with the cell phones. We basically chipped ourselves. We tell everyone where we are all the time. You take a picture, it can tell you exactly where you took that picture at. Yeah. So we kind of already did it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't think there's gonna be like what he said. I don't think there's gonna be a good enough way to check if you have the vaccine unless they do have you chipped or not.
Well, if there is a chip in it already, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already chipped.
So there's a chip in it already.
I got a question for you. What's your favorite type of potato chip?
Oh, dude, barbecue all day.
That smacks. It really does, dude.
It really does. What's yours?
Dude, recently I've been on like the Ruffles, like lime, jalapeno lime Ruffles. Those,
Okay.
ooh,
Ooh,
they
those are
smack.
smackers. Those are smackers.
Smack it like the naughty boy I
For sure.
am.
For sure. Let everybody in the chat know, or we are in the lime time. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to slap them in the box. I'm going to leave this open for like another 30 seconds before I slap in some questions I have for Thomas or myself. Haley says social security cards. Elaborate. You think they're going to check it through your social security number if you got vaccinated? I guess that could be a way.
Am I gonna give them my social at the door?
Yeah, but
like,
yeah,
what's
I'm
the
not
last
gonna be
word?
handing my social out to everybody. Like, yeah, yeah. Here we got 2 questions right here. Oh shoot! All right, sorry, buffered. I think you're back.
I think we're good.
It's all good. It happens like maybe once, maybe twice, and then it just comes back. We're good. Haley wants to know right here, how's Q-Tip?
Oh, she's doing great. We went on a bunch of hikes, and she really loves like exploring. So when we stop, she just sits there and like, woo, just whines at me, and she looks at me, and she's like, "Come on, why aren't we going?" It's like, because I'm tired and it's hot. That's why. But she's great. She's being cute. I taught her so she'll like beg and then stick her paws up when I say this is a robbery, and then she like bang, and she plays dead and just sticks her legs up.
Sick.
Yeah, that's a fun party trick. If I could go to
cute.
a party with her. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I got to see that someday. Someday soon.
Oh yeah, soon.
It said that we had 2 in here, but I don't see another one here. But that's okay. I'm gonna slap in some questions I have for you. Have you been live streaming at all lately, or just been mixing from home?
I haven't been setting up the live stream. Man, it's hardware and like camera angle and like space wise and stuff. It's a little more complicated, but I have been mixing. I've got a couple mixes that I've just kind of got on my computer, and I should like upload soon. Actually, one's private, so I just need to switch it to public and like tell people it's out. But I gotta switch my SoundCloud. But if my SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/YBBI, I'm gonna switch that to Grapefruit Steve soon. Just got a lot of different aliases, but I'm all gonna combine them together. Yeah,
you're a man of many faces.
Yeah. Costumes are fun.
My next question. Yeah. Well, my next question kind of leads into is how has it been like this for you? The transition from going from playing parties almost every weekend and now being at home, just mixing and uploading mixes to like SoundCloud. What's the pros? What have you seen that you've gotten better at, and what are the cons, obvious, and what do you hate about it the most?
The pros are that you get to like release a product at your own rate instead of being like, well, that's the one I played, I hope it was good. Like you can be able to listen and like critically analyze what you're doing. You're like, no, I should have done this insert at this point, or pulled this out at a different time, or done something to it. So you get to like listen to your set back instead of just like hoping that all your practice was good up to that point. The cons are that like, because you can like review your own product so much, you start to get like a little apprehensive. Instead of like, if you're up in a crowd, you're like, well, I've made a mistake, but you just got to play through it, and maybe they won't notice I did that if I do this well enough. Now, as opposed, it's like if I'm recording a mix, it's like 15 minutes in, I made a little mistake, I just cancel it, just redo it, and I made it cancel it. Just like, no, it got to be perfect. But if they wanted a perfect mix, they would just listen to like Spotify or something. So it's they're showing up to listen to you do the music instead of like the music. So
exactly,
that's something to remind yourself.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's been good though. I have a lot more time to practice because it's just all practice. So
yeah. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. And with that being said, man, what are some tips to people that you can give that really get down on themselves about being like, man, my career's over. I don't want to even make music. What's like an uplifting kind of sense of tip that you can give to someone?
Well, there's always someone worse than you.
Yeah.
That's always good to think about. And just practice makes perfect. Like, you asked me about my music history, and I had solos for marching bands, and it turns out that I should have practiced more, and I would have been a lot better. And so now you just, there's no substitute for just you practice. If it's bad, you just keep practicing until something gets better, and if it doesn't get better, go watch someone who's better than you do something and be like, oh, that's how they did that. And then you start incorporating that, and when you learn from people who are better than you, then like you just keep going, and there's always someone better than you as well, so there's always somewhere more to go.
Yeah. Of course. And real quick, that being said, what clubs or what places do you look forward to playing at when things do come back to normal?
Can't wait to play at Solar Culture again. Just be good to be back there, playing on the big speakers.
I feel
June Jam, fun festival. I was supposed to play it this year, but it didn't work out. So hopefully next year, I'll get a spot, and that's a place to be at June Jam. That's got some hearts probably for the June Jam, but yeah, good place to be. Can't wait to go play it at like a festival, small local festival again.
And talking about June Jam, you went to a June Jam with the boys, Hunter and Lance. Let's talk about that experience. What is June Jam really like? Get into it.
Well, that's a question. Like, it's 4 to 5. It's like 4 days of just bliss, not worrying about problems. You just go in there, and you came to Womp, and there's nothing else to do but Womp. So, you wake up, you eat some food, maybe you drink a beer because it's vacay. You drink a beer, and then you just, what am I gonna do? Well, I'll go to that stage, and then you just go to that stage, and you meet some people there, and then they're like, we're going over here, and then you end up at someone's tent. Then you're on an electric scooter doing jumps, and then you end up at another stage, and it just keeps rolling onto itself, and then it's night, and then that's when it starts. See, you take a little siesta, 2 to 4 p.m., and then you just right back into it. Drink another beer, make sure you hydrate. It's a party. It's just 24/7. The music stops for like 3 hours. So,
damn. And what was your favorite experience about June Jam, hands down?
Oh man, I'd have to say like playing my set. It's one of the best sets I've played.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, I got really anxious the first couple days, and then like at the festival, I was like, well, I practiced a lot, and I like these songs, and hopefully that they like them, and if they don't, well, that sucks. But they liked them, and I got the whole dance floor moving, and then from there, it was just a very memorable night after that.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Well, dude, that was actually a quick little talk. We're into another Lime time. All the friends in the comments, please, let's get those questions blasted in the question box down below. How's it going, JJ? I just saw that you joined. Everybody who hasn't been in a Lime stream before, just know that if you want to ask questions, you got to slap them in the box. And if you asked a question in the comments and we didn't answer it, go ahead and slap it in the box.
Yeah, ask me I'll answer anything. Anything.
All right, Thomas. You're a nature guy. We talked about rocks. You're really into rocks, but what's your favorite kind of plant?
Weed.
Marijuana?
Nah. Marijuana. I'd have to fucking... that's a hard question. There's so many... I'm really on agaves right now. I'm learning more about plants, and so I really like agaves, specifically agave perii. It's not as sprawly. It's got little leaves. It's curled up. It kind of looks like an artichoke almost. And it's real cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah. My favorite plant, I would gotta say, is aloe vera. Just because the way it grows, it looks like a cactus, but it's really not, and it's all like nice and like squishy. You know what I mean?
And it's succulent.
Yeah, succulent. Yep.
Give me that succulent.
Exactly.
I lost
Sorry,
it. Oh, there you are.
There we go.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, my bad.
We're back.
It was just telling me my phone battery is at 20%. My bad. Anyways, you said playing at June Jam. Has any of your other sets at any other venues really related to it, and how was that one so much different?
I've played some good ones, but I'd have to say that's the best, and it was the best because I just kind of stopped like being so critical of myself and stopped thinking so much, and just played me. They literally asked, me and my two of my friends. I think no, three. We had 4 slots, and so they asked me, and so like they wanted me, so I just gave them me. And luckily, I'm a funky mamma jamma and got that dance floor moving. Yeah. And I think that kind of is because of like the nature of June Jam, where it's like, oh, there's Q-Tip. Hey, come on, Q-Tip. I think that's
Q-Tip in here. We all want to see.
Come on, up. Come on, Q-Tip. Up. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's Q-Tip. Oh,
that just made my day, Loki.
Ah, she's sweet. Okay, guys, hold on. Get off me. Okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. There you go.
All right. So I just the reason I think it was such a good set is because the whole environment of June Jam is just be yourself, do what feels right. As long as it's not harming anyone else, then you should just do it. And that I think that's a good lesson to go through life is like, well, why are you doing it, and who is it for? Is it for you? Is it for someone else? Exactly. And if you keep asking yourself that, you'll be able to like make better decisions on what you actually want to spend your very finite amount of time on.
And you get only live to loving yourself.
That's a very important one because you're literally the only person at the end of the day. When it's just you alone, well, you've got yourself. You're not really alone. So
yeah, and if you don't love yourself, then I don't think you can really love anything. So
yeah,
that's just
you'll have a hard time.
You're gonna have a real hard time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still in a line time. Oh, I see one question pop up. Let's get it going. My friend JJ wants to know, what's your Taco Bell order?
All right, dude, I'm rolling up. It's like 1 o'clock, and it's gonna be a beef chalupa, 2 soft beef tacos, and it depends how I'm feeling. But I used to get those like beefy mini quesadillas, but they got rid of those. Taco Bell's kind of gone downhill a little bit, but hopefully they like get their shit
back and the quesalupa.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
When they had like the $5 chalupa box, that was my shit. But a chalupa, 2 beef tacos, and like a Dr. Pepper, we're good to go.
Slabs. Hey, what's up, Scrub? We're in a lime time. If you got questions, slap them in the box, man.
I'll answer anything.
I'll answer anything.
Anything.
Hey, Thomas, what I want to know is, what is your favorite season? Out of all seasons.
Shit. I'd say spring because it starts to heat up and then flowers come back and things get green again, but it's not too hot because living in Arizona, you get like 3 months of just like, hey, you want to live in an oven? Just go stick your head outside and like feel the wind. Yeah.
Go sweat.
And like when it comes like you're driving with the windows down on the road and it just comes and you're like, oh. Yeah. Oh, that was too hot. You just roll it up and then your seatbelt burns. You go, ah, and it's just, it's rough. So, like those like March, February, March, and April, I think are like the best. Because then May, it's just like, all right, dude, it's hot now.
Yeah, I feel you. February for sure, bro, because that's when the sun actually starts coming out here, and it's like warm but still cold from like it just trying to warm back up. But like the breeze is like a nice fan. You know what I mean? Like a nice fan in your room that's just on your face. It's like,
Mhm.
but then when the wind blows in the summer, it's like an air dryer on your face.
Oh yeah, like Haley said, a blow dryer.
Yeah. Oh, she said,
Yeah,
"Oh, damn, a blow dryer." Yeah, I didn't even see
yeah.
that. That's actually funny as hell. Scrub says, "Rip to the cheesy Fritos burrito. That was the most flame." I actually believe, dude, those were fire. They also got rid of the quesarito. Going back to Taco Bell real quick, and I was heavily
Yeah.
offended about that. Quesarito was my shit. You can only order it on DoorDash right now, and that is just wrong. It's just wrong.
Hey, you can order it though. It's like, a McRib.
It's
If you
like a
could get a
McRib.
McRib, yeah. It's just like it's a seasonal,
It's
But
a seasonal thing. It'll come back.
yeah.
Two Chains wants to know: would you consider throwing a desert rave with the gang someday?
I would consider that. The issue would be getting land. And it would preferably be private property, like away from anyone that could complain about anything. And then you might be able to use BLM land, but there might be permitting around that. And then if you're on public land that's paid for by taxpayer money, you can't really charge someone to be there.
Yeah.
So it has to be on private property. But if you can do that, and you get the weather, and you have the whole infrastructure, porta potties, and like trash disposal and everything, because it takes a lot of infrastructure to actually organize something like that, generators, vendors and everything. But I feel confident that if there was enough mutual, agreement on what we were trying to do, I think we could get it done. Plus, you don't need all the capital up front because you're supposed to make money from the event. But if you don't do well, then you owe people money, which is not good. So
yeah,
I would say yes, though. We could throw a desert party, maybe in February.
I would say after COVID. After
Yeah,
everything comes back for sure.
I've been staying out of the things.
Illegal desert raves right now. I don't support that.
Well, I think there is like a certain renegade spirit that the rave culture was born from that I think is important, but it's about asking like at whose cost, and like, so if something happens to someone, it's
I do agree with that, but that renegade culture didn't come from when there was people having to stay inside because there was disease running around. It was because it was illegal to rave. Now I would understand I would go to them if it was that case. Don't get me wrong, but to actually put other people's lives in danger, I don't know. That's beyond me. You know what I mean?
Well, if you organize an event and something happens and you don't have like the protocol in place to take care of it, like a medical emergency, you're kind of responsible for that person. And so, in the same thing, if someone gets COVID or like anything that otherwise could be not transmitted by not having that event, then you are responsible, even if there's you can't police like every single person. Like once you hit over like 30 people, you can't control everyone. So it's the law of like mass stupidity. The more people together, the stupider they get, and so you have to like accommodate for that.
Yeah. And honestly, kind of off the subject of COVID, but it kind of leads us into my next question. You helped throw one of Tucson's biggest Halloween block parties. I on one of the years got to help throw that with you guys. Actually, 2 of the years, I believe.
Got this still.
Yeah, I got mine too. It's hanging up over there.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about what kind of setup goes into that. How long before how long ahead of it are you planning it out? And just talk about the setup.
Well, it's about like 3 or 4 months in advance on when you're like really getting everything together. You have to choose a date. You're going to decide who's going to work with you. You have to set up budget. You need to set up like communications between you and the venue, you and the artists, you and the vendors, and performers if you're going to have those. You need to be worrying about where your sound's going to come from, how you're going to plug everything in. It makes sense. Oh, but like turns out you're going to need a 50-foot extension cable as well as 3 separate outlets, and then you're going to need another ladder to put the lights up there. And so you're planning that kind of stuff out like months in advance. But the longest part is just like setting up your contact points, making sure venues are all online, all details are merged, And then you got to start thinking about like what your graphics are going to be, how you're promoting, what's your like promotion budget, like because I think it's like 80%. I don't know. There's like an exorbitant amount of money that actually of running a business just goes to marketing. Like it takes so much money to market because unless you have like a really tight knit like community like it used to exist here, where there's parties going on all the time, you can spread that word of mouth. But otherwise, what do you got? You've got Instagram and Facebook, and you need to spend money on that. So, you know, putting up a lot of like upfront capital, hoping that like you can just market it well enough that you will actually make profit and not just not spending money to throw someone a party. Because it's really cool to do that, and people love the event, but eventually you just run out of money, and then you can't do it. So that's part of it. So yeah, I'd say go like 3 to 4 months is like the amount of time of planning you need to have to something like Fantasia to go on.
Oh hell yeah. And do you think having a promotion teams, I mean, obviously it served you benefit, but let's talk about what kind of benefit that really holds. You know, because you just talked about social media, Instagram, and when one person who's trying to throw a party hears that, you know, they think, damn, to get that many people there would be kind of hard with just myself. You know, what kind of, let's just talk about that itself, you know?
Yeah. Having a promotion team is great. You know, the more people that can speak about it, gets more people to listen to them. And I mean, I gotta say, I would say I'm a kind of charismatic guy, but in the end of the day, I have like 6 to 7 friends, and they're already going to my event. So exactly. you just need to like spread out eventually. And you know, if you find people who are about it, they're not
sometimes
really
it's even those friends. Sometimes it's even those friends.
Yeah, well, our parties didn't start like being multi-hundred people by just like, you know, right off the bat. We had to like start with 30 friends, and then like those 30 friends tell 5, and then eventually, you know, it starts compounding, and you can start getting more and more people through that.
So,
but yeah, it's good. It helps you get the ball rolling.
Of course. Shouts out to Project Atlas. I started my whole thing on that promotion team. We did a lot of good things. We made a lot of big things happen. So shouts out to Project Atlas. So 100%. And last but not least, Thomas here. What about hosting the party while it's going on is so, I'm sorry, I'm jiggling here. What about,
let's get jiggy.
Let's get jiggly. Yeah. What about hosting the party while it's going on is so stressful, and what are the pros about it?
That's a really good question, because that's kind of like my thing is I'm just like I'm just anxious.
I've seen it.
I'm just nervous, anxious, like overthinking things for like 4 to 6 hours, but it's incredibly important to have someone worrying about that, because then it turns out you don't have cash. You need someone to go run to get cash because someone just decided to give you $100 bill. And how are you going to do something about that? You don't have like the change for that. Or, hey, everyone's out of water, and we're in a situation where we're using a lot of water, so somebody needs to go get that water. Otherwise, they're going to like die or something. So if someone's not on the ball worrying about the things that could go wrong, then they will go wrong, and then nobody's in a situation to do that. So that, you know, it's just me showing up an hour to 2 before, running through. While Hunter is setting up sound or something, I'm always setting up the front, because the front's the most important area. That's the first place they're going to go see. That's where they're going to go through the most. So you need to make sure it's well lit. You know, your front team is the most important, because they're handling your money. So you got to have people you trust and can work with volume and are efficient and courteous as well.
Strong security.
That's come up many a times. You know, someone tried to fight me because someone touched someone in the way they shouldn't have, and I said, hey, bro, don't do that. And then they got upset about it, but luckily, you know, security was there, and so they kind of helped it out. Because if you don't have, like, rules suck, but some rules are there for a reason, to prevent other people from getting hurt, or, you know, protecting against unfortunate situations.
Yeah. Too many times I've seen our securities have to deal with those unfortunate situations.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'd like to point out Joseph's comment, anxiously drags a cigarette.
Dude,
There's
I
so
was
many
gonna
goddamn
say the
people.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, if someone's not stressing about it, something goes wrong, so I don't mind being the one that makes making it happen. I'm kind of a high energy person, and when I've got a little bit of a stress to bounce off of, at least I have a task to focus on. So
definitely. And in the end of the day, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Honestly, when it comes to anything with throwing a party, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Always make sure you're doing exactly what you need to be doing.
Yeah, and protect yourself from.
I learned that from Thomas himself. I learned that from you. Like, I wouldn't have known that without you. So, and Lance and Hunter. So shout out all you guys.
Oh, thanks, man. It's fun, and if you help someone out in the process, then it's even better, and you can feel a little bit good about yourself. Give a little pat on the chest there.
Yeah, there you go. And there you go.
Yeah.
So that leads us right into the next Lime Time. All the friends in the comments, slap the questions in the question box. You know what to do. If you put one in the comment and we didn't answer before, there's a little question box down at the bottom. Tap it, and you can type a question away. Last but not least, Thomas, I want to know, what's your favorite snack, like nutrition-wise, on a hike?
Booty. I'm just kidding.
Booty.
Probably
I eat that booty while I'm
I eat that booty. Spoonfuls.
I'm getting spoonfuls of booty as I walk through the mountains.
Yeah, just look up to the left, take a lick. Anyways, but for real, probably granola. Granola's the shit, dude. It's got sugar, it's got fiber, it's got protein. You're just going. And if you make it with coconut oil, you have medium length triglycerides, so they break down and convert to energy slower. So you've got like a whole mix of like some slow energy, some fast energy, and some long energy.
Oh, so and you're in it for the long run. Yeah,
it's like, because hiking's an endurance thing. It's like, it doesn't matter if you go 20 miles an hour, you still got to, that's incredibly fast. You're on a bicycle if you're doing that. But
yeah, for real. Could you imagine if you saw somebody walking at 20 miles per hour?
I saw someone run up the mountain. They didn't have a water bottle or anything. They just run up and they run down. I'm like, dude, you're so in much better shape than I am, and you're 60. I'm kind of, ashamed at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, Scrub says, damn, man's knows his protein synthesis. Yeah, Thomas.
You got to get those gains.
Yeah, Thomas is an educated person.
I like being smart.
Haley wants to know, what is your favorite fruit?
I want to answer as a joke every time. For real, I'd say, damn. All right, huckleberry. It's kind of out there. It only grows in the Rocky Mountains, I'm pretty sure, or in like mountainous areas. It's like if someone took a blueberry but then mixed it with a blueberry sweet tart and then made it sweeter, and then I don't know, like kind of tastes like purple. It's a very unique berry, but I have to say that's my favorite. It's probably because it's got a sentimental point. Like I can only eat it when I go to Montana. But realistically, like strawberries smack. Strawberries are pretty good, I'd have to say.
Strawberries smack, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good blueberry, bro.
Mm-hmm. And a lime. I'd say lime's a fruit too.
Lime is a fruit. I love limes, don't get me wrong. But
get a lemonade. A lemonade or a limeade.
Dude,
I love the citrus.
Off though. Limeade with some white grape juice. Limeade with some white grape juice, insane.
I got Tink Fiend with the homemade huckleberry jam.
Oh shit!
I just wanted to say that stuff's great. I've made some and it just smacks.
Smackers, just all instead of Smuckers, it's Smackers.
Yeah, it's a Smackers.
There you go. Hey, Lance Fairchild wants to know here, favorite festival.
So favorite festival to like overall would be June Jam, but I'd say Decadence from Relentless Beats is just it's a good hearty smacker. It is what it Decadent, it's like, wow, they've got fair rides and there's just carnival rides and it's great. I don't care that it is kind of a little dumb if you look at it from like a third person perspective, like, you just gave them a bunch of drugs and put them in there with flashing lights and cartoon and carnival rides, but it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. You just go with your friends and it's just like, hey, we didn't die. We lived another year. We're allowed to have fun.
100%. And that honestly leads me right into my next segment with you. The last segment before our last Lime Time. Let's talk about being relentless ranger. You work as a ranger. What are the types of things you see, and what are the things that you have to go through while doing that?
I've seen some shit. Let me tell you that. You get the people who are just a little too drunk, and then you've got someone who's way too drunk and they poop themselves, and you need to help them move them somewhere else. You get the people who mix pills and alcohol that they shouldn't have, so they're like kind of vomiting their brains out. You're just holding their hair and having a conversation with their boyfriend, because the other option is to just really pay attention to how much this person's throwing up. So you're just talking to this person like, they'll be fine, when they take it. Okay, they'll be good at 2, they'll be fine, I like the helping people out. When they realize that like you're someone they can depend on, they feel a lot safer, and then you can help someone get through a pretty nasty situation. The things I have to go through is like, well, most rangers live in Phoenix, so they just drive 20 minutes or whatever, but I have to drive up, and then I usually just drive back the same night because I drink so much caffeine, because you have to be like,
on it.
You can't be tired. Yeah, you can't be altered in any state. You need to be 100% there, because the danger signs are so minute. Sometimes it's like, that person looks sweaty, but then you come back and their eyes just look different. You're like, that person's going to fall over. So you need to pull them out. Doing like a prevention while in the crowd at like main stage, you need to go through the front, and people like they start to learn, if they know what a ranger is, they'll give you space, but sometimes you just need to be like, listen, like, I'm trying to be a good guy, but at a certain level, I'm going to get over there, and I will get in front of you if I need to. I will have to shove you out of the way, because, like, I'm sorry that, like, you're just vibing a little too hard, but, someone's trapped up on the rails, and they're like, we've had situations where people are having seizures in the front, so there's a lot of protocol.
Yeah, you got to get up.
Yeah. You just got to make it happen. If the other option is like someone could die. So, you get that little buffer, the mental high grounds, but, you try to be a good face, but also remember, like, hey, like, I'm getting paid to be here because I have a very important job to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's literally like it's like kind of being like an EMT in a way. You know what I mean? You're on the spot, ready to save people's lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Luckily I haven't had to do too much, but the Ranger program we actually work in partnership with the EMTs, and so we can reduce the amount of people that they actually need to take by like 70%, because we're trained to deal with like symptoms, or like to notice what to look for and how to treat those kind of symptoms.
Yeah.
So if you're ever at a show, the EMT areas, it's Good Samaritan stuff. If you go in, doesn't matter what situation you're in, what techno pills you took, they will help you, and they legally can't like charge you for anything. Oh, yeah. So like 100% you will be safe and taken care of, and it's good to provide an area that's not like the, oh gosh, I'm in the EMT kind of stuff. It's just like there's some dudes with like blankets and trash cans to help you out. They give you candy.
Exactly.
We're not allowed to give candy anymore, but just kind of, yeah.
I feel you. Last question, real quick. What has been like one of a set that you really wanted to see and you kind of had to miss out on it because of rangering?
Wow. There's just little special moments where you're just like really vibing out, and you just want to like kind of be like, wow, I'm really just in this moment. But you're like, wow, I'm in this moment, and I got to make sure that these people laying down on the ground are good, or like, that I don't trip over someone, or that person I ignored actually isn't going to be a problem issue, because that happened to me one time. It's like, oh, they're fine, and then they turned out to be they needed like, some special care. So it's just like, that's what I was saying. Like the fine line is like, you get to be in so many situations. You get to be up front, in front of the rails by the speakers, but then it's like this dual edge. It's like, oh, I could just like not pay attention to like everyone around me and make sure everything's going well.
Yeah.
So
that's the job. So.
Yeah, but You get a lot of appreciation for it too, which is nice.
Dude, I 100%. I respect you 100% for that. Honestly,
I've got
I think I would get too distracted at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this dude, his name's Rusty. He just really was vibing with me, and I kept seeing him around. So we eventually got a photo together, and that's me in my, bright neon color. I'm all just like, well, I'm just happy to be here.
Repping it. Yep.
Yeah.
Hella nice. Hella nice. Shout out to Rusty. All right, well, that ends our little segment about being a ranger. Let's slip into one more live time. After we answer these last couple questions, we'll promo, and then we'll shut this thing off.
Hell yeah.
Lance wants to know, can you share your favorite or a funny moment of being a ranger?
I'll go two different takes. So there's like the kind of the funny one. Someone just took too many drugs, and so there's like other rangers just trying to contain this person, because we can't make anyone do anything. We don't really have any right of way to do that. But we can be like, hey, look we're dancing over here, and kind of lure them over, kind of. And so that was really funny to watch, because they're just like, what's going on? That person's just having such a good time. They don't even realize really what's going on. They're like, yeah, I love the music. I'm having a great time. I'm like, look at you go. You don't even give a fuck. You're just having a great time. But I think, really my favorite moment is like, in kind of a weird way, is like when someone's throwing up and I'm just like taking care of them and I'm like cleaning up their vomit and shit. I'm just like, this is good, because otherwise they'd just be alone. I've been in that situation. I found out about the Rangers because Hunter, he just got too hot.
Wait, did you just say your favorite moment is cleaning up throw up?
It's more so knowing that like I am that kind of person.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah,
bro.
No, I don't like the vomit.
I think you cut out there for a second, and I heard my favorite part is cleaning up the vomit.
My favorite part is taking the vomit home and then sifting through it later, seeing what's going on. Like, oh, you got some taquitos? That's tasty.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, just genuinely being like a person that can, like, not to like try and sound too self-important, but like you can be that person that changes if it's a good interaction or a bad like experience, and like kind of change their frame of view sometimes. So,
I'm sorry, I'm just reading Lance's comments. He's a vomit collector. Sorry. Hey, no,
everyone's got a talent.
It's honestly like great to hear that there's people out there that actually think that way. Honestly, because I'm the same way. If you can help anybody, why not go ahead and do it? You know what I mean?
If it doesn't harm you, then you kind of like are morally obligated to do it. So
exactly. And Lance here wants to know what's your favorite jar spider?
He brought out the jar spiders with this one.
Yeah.
Shit. I used to collect like black widows in jars and just keep them around as pets because they're really easy to take care of. You just throw a cricket in there and you're good for a month. Shit, all of them were my favorite. They were all special in some weird, creepy way.
In some weird, creepy. I hate spiders, bro. I will literally puke on sight, and then you're gonna have to clean that up.
It's a certain size. Once the spider hits a certain size, I'm like, all right, that's a little too much spider.
About it, I'm not even lying.
I had a crab spider. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, what'd you say? What'd you say?
I just had I came into my like hallway and there was a spider. I shit you. Let me pull up my wallet. It was like fucking this big, just crawling on the wall. Please. And I was like, "Oh, dude, like, no, you live here. Like, you don't have to pay rent as long as you leave me alone. I'll let you live." Like,
if I
that's the kind of spider.
I would literally die. I would have a heart attack.
Yeah, it was big. I called him Greg. It was a way to deal with it. Hey, this spider's got a name.
Greg, he says, Jesus.
Yeah, if it's got a name, it can't be as scary, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Gives it some character. Two Champs here wants to know, what do you look for in a relationship?
Wow. Do they
collect jar spiders?
Yeah, how many jar spiders? And are there jar spiders bigger than mine? Because if they are, then I will consider you, because that means you've got some guts, though. Collecting the bigger spiders than me.
You heard it right, ladies.
Yeah.
If you want to get with Thomas, you better get those spiders bulky.
I like a lady with a big spider. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite. I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like butter boobs. I like a big spider.
Yeah, ass or tits. How about spider?
Let me see the size of your spider.
Yeah, if they can like put it on my face as I sleep and like, wrap its legs around me.
Oh.
That actually sounds terrifying. Like, I don't want that.
All right, well that ends that lime time. The last lime time of the night. It's 8:01. I'm gonna let you get into a little promo about yourself, Thomas. We want to know what can we see you on next? What can we hear from you next? Let's just know about Thomas. Let's know about We Greater Than Nine. Let's know about Grapefruit Steve.
If you tune in to my Instagram, I'm sure there's a place you can access it at Sordid Adventurer, SORDID Adventurer, all one word. Lengthy, I'll probably change it, but you can get pictures of Q-Tip, Pig, my hiking adventures, and otherwise music promo stuff. My SoundCloud at SoundCloud/YBBI. That's where you'll get my mixes, schmixes, and wherever I'm getting funky to that week. And overall, I'd say keep an eye on Project Atlas Facebook. Maybe something might happen from there. An announcement of some sorts. And keep your ear to the ground for a new project coming up. There's going to be something funky. Maybe Q-Tip will run the event instead of me. I think that would be preferable
Q-Tip
for everyone at that point. Yeah, but yeah, and make sure I want to wash your hands and maybe consider using a bidet. It might be a good environmental choice at that point.
Do you have a bidet at your house, Thomas?
I actually don't, but thinking of logistics about it, it's like why
don't you practice what you preach?
Well, if you sign up to my Patreon, I'll send you pictures of me using the bidet for a small fee.
For a small fee.
Yeah, for a small fee.
OnlyFans, it's just videos of him using a bidet.
Yeah, but nothing inappropriate. It's just my face and then my reaction when it hits my butt.
You don't see the butt. You don't see the butt. You just see oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, it saves money and cleans your ass.
Exactly. All right. Well, you heard it right from himself. Grapefruit Steve, We Greater Than I, my boy Thomas. What I got going on next week, I got Handsome Boys joining me on the live stream, and in about 2 weeks from then, I'm dropping another hip hop mixtape, freestyle mixtape. So stay tuned for that as well. But I just want to give a huge shout out to We Greater Than I, Grapefruit Steve, and my good boy Thomas for joining us tonight. I want to give a huge shout out to all the friends in the comments for staying alive with us, staying friendly, and keeping this chat so always funny, just so always friendly. I had a great time. I was laughing my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. Thomas, thank you, man. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. You and I will be collabing soon. I'll be in your direct messages about a little live stream that might be taking place on my putt-putt course soon. So stay tuned for that.
Nice. Yeah. Fucking radical, dude.
And if you guys didn't know, Lance Fairchild is doing Live Isn't Fair tonight. So catch that. You know where that's at. Twitch at 9 p.m. We'll see you guys there.
That's the after party.
Yeah, that's the after
Let's go.
party. We'll be in the chat. Lime out. Have a good night, guys.
Lime out.